Three, two, one. What the fuck is up, people? It's Bread and Circuses. Long time no see. You hear me?
Yeah,
okay?
we were gonna do our show yesterday, me and Caleb, and right about half hour before I decided to, or we were gonna record, my baby decided she was gonna eat and then fall asleep for 2 hours. So
Yeah, I can't. Babies piss me off, man. What kind of pussy can't sit inside of a hot car for 15 minutes?
Dude, you ever seen that video where that guy tries to prove that?
Yeah,
And he's
man
sitting
sits in hot car to prove dogs and babies are cowards.
and he's sitting there. I think it's like Terry Crews or something.
No,
doesn't
it's some YouTuber. I don't know who it is. I shared that clip to our page not too long ago.
Yeah,
we had nothing else to share. Man sits in hot car to prove babies and dogs are cowards.
And that's a YouTube video, not an Onion article, which it seems like it could be an Onion article too.
He's like, "Fuck this! This isn't that hard."
Dude, because even up in Omaha, when it's got that bad humidity up there, it gets pretty hot in them cars, and especially down here where the sun can literally fry an egg on the sidewalk.
Right.
No fun, man.
No, for sure. That's why.
Do you ever leave your windows cracked in your car? Like during the summertime? I
used to, but then I realized it really doesn't make any difference. If it's hot, it's gonna be hot. You know what I mean? Do you?
I just do sometimes, but not really down here because I've just got the luck where every time I leave my windows cracked, a sandstorm blows through.
Yeah, that's a problem you guys have to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
That would suck to clean that out. Fuck.
Yeah, dude. And even up in Omaha, man, it feels like just with the kind of luck we have when I leave my windows cracked, that's when it starts thunderstorming out of nowhere.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've done that before. Just fucking torrential downpour. Oh, before we get any further into this episode, big news. Nobody knows about this. I need to announce it on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Huge news. No one knows. The first anyone will hear about it. Not my parents, not my friends, not my girlfriend doesn't even know. I have officially taken a major step forward in life. I have purchased a MyPillow.
How is it?
It'll be here tomorrow. It'll be
dude.
Here.
Got it.
Damn,
man, I wish you would have had it already. I've been thinking about investing in one of those, and I want to see from somebody how good they are.
We'll see. I've heard. I don't know. I've heard you either love it or you hate it. So
what's so special about it?
It bends. I don't know. Let's look it up. They got a website. I supposedly
without knowing.
Yeah, I see the commercial. The guy talks like Jesse Ventura. I'm like, fuck it. I can trust this guy. Let me take it. Let's see. I think it's that it molds to your head in a certain way. Let's see here.
Didn't the owner of that company get in trouble or quote unquote trouble from the internet mob from not supporting BLM or some dumb shit?
Yeah, I think he's actually running for governor of Minnesota is why he caught some shit.
Yeah, isn't Jesse Ventura the governor of Minnesota?
No, he was a long time ago. That was when he was crazy. Yeah, because I knew someone that lived in Minnesota while Jesse Ventura was governor, and he was honestly, his economic policies weren't that bad. He lowered people's taxes and made it easier to start a business and stuff. Mm-hmm. But the guy was an embarrassment. They had him on because he was a celebrity. He was a long shot. Nobody expected him to win. He was an independent.
What was his party that he was under?
Independent, I think.
Just independent. Yeah. Okay.
He was Reform Party or something like that. But he was polling at 10% the day before the election and wound up winning. It was a huge. Nobody saw. It was a big deal. Nobody saw.
Oh man, all 40 people that live in Minnesota.
Right,
dude.
That's 5 times the size of Nebraska. But he, I guess he just became an embarrassment because they had him on some late night show, and the late night host was breaking the ice with him. He's like, "Yeah, Jesse, you ever go deer hunting?" He's like, "Yeah, deer hunting's fun. But have you ever hunted people?" The governor said this.
He was he forgot that he wasn't doing a wrestling promo.
Yeah, well, he was a Navy SEAL. He
was a professional wrestler too, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's where he got famous. Mm-hmm. And then he was like a Spec Ops Navy SEAL. He's one of those, because like we all know veterans that have like I have some good friends, like comedian friends. They're veterans, and they're like, they've killed people, but you don't ask them about it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like
oh yeah, dude, I know all about that, man.
Yeah, like there's definitely veterans out there that like you meet them and it's like, okay, you've killed people, but we're not going to talk about that.
There's a certain look in those guys' eyes, man, because like like one of my first squad leaders in the army, dude, was a guy that had been in the army almost 20 years and like did the surge in Iraq and everything, and he just had like it's like their eyes are like beady almost. I don't know, man. It's a really weird to explain, but you look one of those guys in the eyes and you could tell that they've fucking blown somebody up or something like that.
Oh, for sure. Like it's because I mean I've got some friends that have been like like special forces, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you can tell by how many PTSD medications they take, like that's another giveaway. It's like, oh, you're on 7 different prescriptions. Yeah, you've probably killed a couple people.
One thing I've noticed, especially about special forces guys, is they talk really, really fast in short bursts.
Yes.
Have you ever noticed that?
Yes. So Tim Locklear is like that.
Yeah, dude. They're
like
our
show. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and I noticed that with him. I've noticed it with guys that have done like a lot of stuff in the military, like with SF guys, because like regular Army guys will go and do stuff with special forces guys. It's like to give them some extra manpower and like some security type stuff.
Yeah.
And like they'll take on their mannerisms, man. Like they'll kind of talk like this. Just a little bit,
Yeah.
Always be looking around and everything kind of twitchy a little bit. Like
No, Locklear's a super cool guy though.
And Locklear is a super cool man.
Yeah, we should have him back on for sure. He's always got something interesting to talk about. That's
dude, something interesting to talk about, because I know we've been talking about this subject since we started the show, and it's been kind of gaining traction in the media now about the Uyghurs in China. I know you know a little bit about those guys because you've like actually like worked with Uyghurs in person. I
haven't worked with Uyghurs. I've dealt with Karen, which is the same thing, just in a different country.
Okay, so explain those.
The Karen.
So
I'm assuming it's a lot like the Burma conflict. I don't want to speak on it if I don't know. But so the Karen is a lot of them have settled in Omaha and Lincoln. I think Minnesota is the other one. I want Minnesota or Seattle. But there's a bunch of them. And so basically it's a really small ethnic minority in Burma. And the Burmese government, for whatever reason, one reason or another, wants to wipe them off the face of the earth. So there's
Is it because they're Muslim, like the Uyghurs?
They're not Muslim. They're Christian.
A Christian, okay.
The Karens are Baptist.
Oh, that's weird. Baptists in Burma. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I know. It's not something you'd expect, right?
It's funny because a lot of people think over in like the Pan Asia, it's like they're all just one ethnic, or they're all just like Chinese, or they're all just like Taiwan.
They fucking hate each other. They can tell the difference even if you can't. And they.
Yeah, I know when I was in basic training, there was a couple dudes that were Hmong, which I didn't even know what those were.
Yeah, there's a lot of those in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What are they? They're like an ethnic group from just like
Hmong. I have a friend who's Hmong. I want to say Laos.
Laos.
Let me see here. Let me take a look. They live all over Southeast Asia. They're China and Southeast Asia. But yeah, China, Vietnam, Laos, Thailand, and Myanmar, which is Burma. But no, so the Karens, I mean, there's a lot of Karens in the U.S. and there's a lot of Karens that have fled to Thailand. But the problem is Thailand doesn't treat them much better. They don't kill them. They just lock them in camps, kind of like we did with the Japanese.
That's what the Uyghurs are experiencing in China. Like, it's a pretty big deal because, like, people will buy like wigs off of like Wish, and it'll just be Uyghur hair. Like,
yeah. What's the beef with them? Are they part of the Free Hong Kong thing?
No, they're a Muslim like minority of like ethnic minority in China. And because China, their official state religion is atheism, so basically you have to like not be religious there.
Right.
They take them and they basically have put them in concentrate. They've treated them pretty much the same way as like the Germans treated all the like
the Jews,
the Jews and the gypsies and stuff. Like they
Jesus.
literally like, well, there's photos of them like loading them up into trains, shaving their heads down, putting them in camps, which the Chinese government officially calls like re-education camps.
Yeah,
but really
that's. I mean, how many times have we heard that one though?
Yeah,
you know
it's a slave labor camp. Like they slave labor there.
Right.
I think we've talked about it before here. I could have sworn we have, but we've been knowing about it for a while. I know we used to talk about it before.
We've talked about like the atrocities of the Chinese government.
Yeah,
because they're terrible fucking people.
Yeah, they are.
The people bitch about the U.S. and stuff like that, and like, yeah, we've got our problems, but God, we're not like China. Like,
yeah,
people don't like. I'm not saying that we don't have problems that should be addressed, but if people talked about, was it Xi? Is that how you pronounce his name? Xi.
G. Oh, Xi. Like, yeah, Xi. Xi. Yeah, Xi.
Yeah, if people talked about, if people in China talked about Xi the way people here talk about Trump, they'd get shot in the fucking head, and nobody would do shit about it.
And that's not saying Trump doesn't deserve it. You know, obviously he does.
I'm just saying
it could
be worse. Like, that's people fucking people. I saw the most ridiculous thing. Someone called the U.S. a failed state the other day. I'm like, whoever says it was a poll. It said, is the U.S. a failed state? And it was like, and you know, internet polls take them for what they are, but it was like 53% of the people said yes. I'm like, bro, you've been to a failed state. Anyone who even considers the U.S. to be anything remotely close to a failed state is a moron. It's like, hey, can you go to the grocery store?
What parameters are they a failed state? Like, we don't have mass starvation here. I would say that's a pretty good parameter.
If you're hungry, can you go to the grocery store? I'm not saying it might, you might have to throw it on your credit card because you're a little broke or whatever. You might even have to fucking steal it. But can you go to the grocery store and get fresh milk that's not going to make you fucking sick? Yes? Then we're not in a failed state. If you have a heart attack.
Dude. Even here, the thing is about food here is like you could survive off of really, really cheap food here. Like you could survive off of like rice and beans and bread, and like that could be your diet. And you probably wouldn't feel all too great, but that could be your diet, and you could survive off of like $50 a month off that shit.
Right, for sure.
Yeah.
Well, that's my thing. Is like, if you have a heart attack or you get stabbed or shot or poisoned or whatever, you might have to pay a lot of money. But can you go to the hospital and get your life saved? Yes. Then we're not a fucking failed state. Like, for people that scream white privilege, white privilege, white privilege at the top of their lungs, they are really showing their white privilege to call the United States a failed state. Like, go to Burma.
I would ask them to clarify that. I'd be like, in what ways are we a failed state, man? Like, how?
Right. Like, go to Somalia and talk to me about a failed state.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
You were in the Horn of Africa. Like, you get it. Like, you've seen a failed state.
When you go to regions where, like, there just is no strong, like the nation itself isn't strong, you can tell, man. Just the fact that we have, like, paved roads everywhere.
Right. We have paved roads.
I know people like to talk
Omaha's
shit about
got our problems.
Yeah, we like
to talk shit about But the holes in our roads aren't from mortars. Like...
Yeah, and they eventually get patched.
Eventually,
eventually.
I
mean, you even go down to Mexico, man. Just like here across the border, there's a lot of times where we drive down the street and you just see some kids putting mud in the hole in the roads because, like, the government's not going to come and do it, and the kids are out there doing it. Just, you know.
And that's another example is Mexico. I mean, Mexico's not a Somalia level failed state, but it's certainly.
There's a lot of people. Well, there's a lot of people that would say Mexico is a failed state, man, because
well, that's the thing
they've got a federal government in power there, but it's like it's not
corrupt as hell.
They're corrupt as hell, and they're not the most powerful entity in Mexico. Like,
I mean, that's my thing. Is the difference is a failed state. Like, are you in constant fear that the cartel is going to come into your neighborhood and just start whacking people because they feel like it? No, then you're not in a failed state.
Because they were working with another cartel that was there. Like,
right. Yeah. And they may not even have been working with those people by choice. It might have been because they were being threatened, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, we don't I will give it to you that we may be heading toward a civil war right now, but we're not there yet, and we're not a failed state. Like,
I think right now it's just everything is so volatile, probably because People have been fucking cramped up in their homes for 6 months now.
Definitely didn't help.
That didn't help at all. That only fucking just that wasn't throwing gasoline on the fire, dude. That was throwing thermite on the fire.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it was in the first week. It was cute, right? You had Tiger King. You had the celebrities singing "Imagine." Oh, this is how to bake sourdough bread. And then people started to realize, oh shit, I have to pay rent.
People were like alone. People were alone at home to like argue with people on the internet and shit, and just make them all angry all the time.
That too. That's super. I mean, we talked about that last week, you know, with Ashley and all those guys.
Yeah, dude. Think about that. How unhinged have you just seen a lot of people get?
It's been bad.
It doesn't take a very large portion of people to like totally topple over society, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
well, the problem is most people sit there in an echo chamber, and group polarization is a real fucking thing, whether people want to admit it or not. Like group polarization. I mean, group polarization is how you get people like Donald Trump.
Look at what happens on Reddit, man. Reddit's got a ton of people on it, and dude, like I browse Reddit regularly, and it's a big ass echo chamber, man.
Yeah, echo chambers are not healthy.
No,
you know what I mean? It's like because there becomes like because people go ahead.
Oh, I saw a thing on Reddit. There was a pretty big Reddit like subreddit called LGB minus the T.
Oh
shit! So it's like the conservative gay folks, like the conservative gay population that don't want to have like the transsexuals and the queers, you know, like those extra letters associated with gays and lesbians and bisexual people.
Yeah,
because they like want to kind of distance themselves from them because they don't see as it being really the same fight. You know what I mean?
Like, right. Yeah. I mean, Dave Smith had an interesting point about that, about like all the oppressed people. Like, you know, you had black people that were slaves. Obviously, they were oppressed, right? It was a horrible thing that happened to them. You had women who couldn't vote. Horrible thing. They weren't being represented. You had gay people who couldn't get married. Horrible thing. You know, they were being kept from their spouse just because fuck you. We don't like what you're about. And then like he was like, it's really hard to compare trans people not being able to use a different bathroom to those struggles. Like it's kind of weird. It's harder to get the general public on your side for those things than
especially because like man, like I want to clarify by saying this that like dude, if somebody wants to be trans, fucking go ahead, dude. Like do whatever the fuck you want.
Right.
But I've just noticed with trans people that they fucking try to make every single issue about them, dude.
Right.
Like, I think I referenced it in an earlier episode we did where they were talking about the problems with the COVID shutdowns where people can't get elective surgeries. So, like, example, you with your mole, like you might not have been able to get that removed.
Yeah.
Well, I saw something on like literally like an NBC News report thing where they were saying like, well, think about the transgender people.
I saw that.
Can't get gender reassignment surgery. I'm like, yeah, all the fucking people that are suffering in the world from non-elective surgeries, but please remember the transgender people.
Right.
They can't get their fucking their surgeries. You know?
Elective surgery is a super. People hear elective surgery, they think a titty job or like a gender reassignment or whatever. And they're you can wait. We are in the middle of a pandemic. People don't realize that there was a woman here in Kearney or Grand Island in Nebraska that happened here during this. Elective surgery can mean you don't have to get that tumor taken out. You can sit through a 9th round of chemo. That's what elective surgery means. Because
it could be a root canal. A root canal could be elective surgery, you know
which can fucking kill you. An infected tooth. Yeah, you couldn't see a dentist.
They'd be like, you could just pull it at home with a fucking hammer.
Yeah, you got pliers. Like, you know, like that's exactly, because dentist office were closed. You know, haircuts, very necessary elective surgery.
Literally, a haircut is like a very non-invasive surgery, technically, right?
I was joking, but yeah, I know.
Right?
I mean, no, for sure. I mean, you're removing something. It's an external surgery,
that's like a high thoughts thing. Like, dude, cutting your nails and getting your haircut's technically a surgery,
technically a surgery, bro. You know, I shaved my balls. It was technically a surgery. Have you seen the fucking ads for that Manscaped, the lawnmower?
Yeah.
Have you read the reviews?
No.
There was one.
What is it? People like have cut their nuts off or something with them?
No, there was one review. The guy was like, this product isn't as advertised. It turned my private parts into hamburger meat. I was like, okay. So the problem is people don't use fucking common sense. They see this new bright, and I don't own it, so I don't know what it's like, but it can't be that bad or they wouldn't have sold it, right? They wouldn't have thrown it onto the market and put that much advertising behind it. But like, I mean, people see like a ball razor and they think they can just rub it right on. Like, no, razor burns are still a thing, man.
Is it a ball? I thought it was just a razor just for your pubes, man.
Yeah, it's like for your pubes. But people think they can stick it right on their dick and their balls and not have consequences. I'm like, this is a little thing called Darwinism. Yeah. Like, you can't press it right up against like you're shaving your face, dude. Like, that's a thing called natural selection. And if you decide to fucking shave your dick without any type of protection, then guess what? You're part of it. Like,
I want to talk to somebody that's used one of those before, because, dude, those Manscaped ads are literally all over the place on like YouTube.
I don't stop. Stuff. That and Ridge Wallet.
Ridge Wallet, yeah, that's one of them. You'll see
Dr. Squatch.
Yeah, Dr. Squat, the hand soap one. Yeah, I want to try that, dude.
I ordered some. I'll let you know how it works.
You got to let everybody know how that is.
I got the pine tart kind, because like I'm always down to try new soaps and shit in the shower, because there really is a lot of the, maybe not women, I don't know as much, but men for sure, a lot of the soaps that are marketed toward us are terrible for our skin. They cause acne and infections.
I was really interested how they said that some of the soaps are spermicidal, and like I've been meaning to read up on that. Yeah, they say on their commercials that some of the soaps, and I guess they might be referring to Irish Spring Bar soap or something, that it kills sperm. I wonder how it does that.
If you're using Irish Spring Bar soap, you are living in hell.
Dude, I used to use that shit in the Army all the time, man.
You are living in hell. Like, you are broke as shit if you're using Irish, or like those massive fucking like 2-gallon tubes of conditioner that like divorced dads get their daughters.
You know
man,
what
I'm talking about from Walmart?
I was really have been thinking of, once I've got a little more time, of doing like a men's,
that's what you
like
said,
a men's, like hair hygiene care products and stuff. Because it's like, it seems like the last couple of years, man, there's been a lot more stuff out there available. Like, you don't just have Axe body spray and fucking Old Spice is the only deodorants that you can use.
That's another thing is I don't know what my deal is, but I sweat like a stuck pig. So I have to buy the deodorant, right, or not deodorant, antiperspirant right below like prescription grade shit.
Really?
Like, to stop. I don't know why I've always been like that. And I hate hitting out.
Is what you use have aluminum in it? I know there's been really questionable studies, but studies nonetheless about it that have linked aluminum and deodorant to like fucking brain tumors.
Oh, well, I don't know about all that, but
yeah, there was some, like, not a very good study, but it was a study that they linked like aluminum, and you can buy deodorants now without aluminum in it, or antiperspirants.
So like I wear 2 deodorants. I wear the antiperspirant that's like clinical grade shit, and then I have a deodorant that's like my shit. Like, that's my thing, is it's like, if I'm gonna spend extra money on stuff, like I use like expensive toothpaste and deodorant and stuff like that. Like, you might as well take care of yourself, you know?
Exactly.
Like an extra $3-4 a month, like, just fucking do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what else are you gonna get the $3.50 deodorant instead of the $6 or the $7? Like, what are you gonna use that $3.50 on? Like,
dude, even like shaving cream and stuff, because I shave like pretty regularly. I've got this one, I think it's called like Jack Black or some shit. It's from like the department store. It's really nice. Like, I literally have to use a shaving, like a brush to put it on my face, because it's too thick to like just put with my hands.
Thick with two C's.
Yeah, literally, dude. But when I shave with this stuff, oh my god, dude! Like, it's soft. It's like, I don't even need to put aftershave on, but when I do, it's like nice, man.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, if you're gonna spend money on anything, spend money on some shit that fucking take care of yourself, man. Like,
exactly. Like, I use the Sensodyne toothpaste.
Yeah.
It's like $8
How is
a
that?
bottle.
I use like
really
nice
good
Crest. Yeah.
that stuff, like I used to use the top of the line Crest shit. Look at us just fucking geeking over men's hygiene shit. But no, I used to use
man. Dude,
I used
girls,
to use
there's a fucking $8 billion industry for women.
for makeup channels, exactly.
It's cosmetics and stuff in general, man.
Well, no, so I used to use like the nicer Crest stuff, and then I was like, I'll try this Sensodyne shit. It's really good, dude. My teeth are whiter. Yeah. Like I have toothaches less often. And they're not a sponsor, by the way. But like it's a lot better. Like it's twice as much. Like you get what you pay for, though.
Look at what you had said about it, man. Like I wonder why. Like why is it like taboo for dudes to just like talk about that kind of stuff? You know what I mean?
Right. It's like, taboo for men to talk about a lot of shit. We're supposed to keep stuff bottled up and use basic stuff. And
I'm like
boomer mentality.
Like it's not manly to be fucking disgusting, dude.
No, that's the misconception. Is it's like it's that boomer mentality of like, oh, like, and I'm not one of those guys that uses a bunch of moisturizer, but like men that take pride in the fact that their hands feel like fucking cement. You know what I mean? Like the palms of their hands and shit. And it's like no woman wants to touch that. Or it's like I have dirt in my fingernails. Congrats, you look like a fucking slob.
Dude, it's little things like keeping your nails cut, like keeping your hair and your beard. Yeah, keeping your beard trimmed where it looks like nice, like
not looking like a child molester.
Yeah, dude, you see those guys that be walking around looking like fucking coal miners, man. Right. Where it's like all scraggly.
Yeah,
and stuff.
And you're like, what do you do for a living? I work at State Farm. It's not anything that would excuse it.
Like he looks like a lumberjack, but he's like, yeah, I'm the truck driver.
Yeah, he's like, well, and that's another truck drivers. I don't know. Maybe they have the excuse. I don't know.
They don't have any excuse to be fucking disgusting, man. They're on the road, but they get to stop at some rest stops, man. You can fucking shave and brush your teeth or something.
There's no excuse unless you're like getting off work or leaving the gym or something like that. There's no excuse to stink. And I tell people this with the fuck that walk around smelling like weed too. I'm like, dude, like you have to make a conscious effort smoking weed to make yourself smell like it unless you're in a car. Right. And I don't give a shit that you smoke weed, but I'll tell you the same thing I'd say. Yeah, it stinks. I don't want to smell somebody that smells like BO. I don't want to smell somebody that's been working with shit all day. I don't want to smell your weed.
It goes like anything else too. Yeah, I wouldn't want to smell somebody that smells like they just worked out. I wouldn't want to smell somebody that stinks like booze. Like it's the same shit.
Exactly. Yeah, booze is terrible. Oh my god.
Yeah, man. You smell somebody that smells like stale beer in public.
Yeah,
it's disgusting, man.
It's like you didn't fucking take a shower before you went out tonight, or like what's your goal here, man?
I've never understood why like it's not pushed in society like for guys to just take care of themselves, you know what I mean? Like
right.
Or if guys that do, it's like it used to be. I remember a kid, it used to be called hetero when you were like, or metrosexual or whatever.
Metro, yeah.
Or you would the guys that would like fucking just use lotion and like cut their hair nice and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like why
that was a weird thing, and the boomers really came out hard against that. And it's like
they did.
It's like metrosexual. If you really look at it, they're like, oh, it's the line between gay and straight. I'm like, no, like, bro, it's like
I don't even understand how it's a gay.
It's like that's my thing. Is it's like, oh, you take a shower? What are you, gay?
Yeah, dude. Like I wanna smell nice. You know what I mean? Like, dude, I would notice like anytime I would wear cologne, like when meeting somebody for the first time, because I wear nice colognes, like. Just because you can tell that difference between like the real nice like Dior kind versus like some Walmart shit, right?
Right.
Like a lot of times, dude, like ladies women would be like, dude, that smells really good, and it's like, man, if you're going on like a first date or something like that with a girl, or I mean a guy, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Those little things like that make you so much more memorable as a person.
And it's like, guys, I don't want to spend $100 on cologne. I'm like, bro, if you spend $100 on cologne, that's gonna last you the next 5 to 10 years.
Yes,
5 to 10 fucking years. Whereas your bod for men that you get at Walmart, 3 for $5, is gonna last you a couple months, maybe. And it's gonna the smell will actually last.
When women, like, just speaking from a straight hetero point of view, when women smell that shit, they know you're fucking cheap. And that's a no-go, man. Like
exactly. That's like, I remember Like I walked into, because I used to work in the car business, right?
Yeah.
I walked into a Chipotle the other day, and I was like, "Why the fuck does it smell like a car dealership in here?" And I'm like, "Oh, no, it just smells like someone wearing cheap cologne. That's what it smells like." Because those guys douse themselves in cheap cologne because most of them need to cover up the fucking smell of their alcohol from the night before.
Sheesh.
So it's like,
at a Chipotle, damn man.
no,
They've
I'm
having a
talking
rough
car
time.
dealerships.
No, I'm talking
Oh,
about this
but yeah.
Chipotle. Like this Chipotle, man. Somebody having a rough time in that Chipotle, dude.
The dude's hating his life in that Chipotle.
He's like, I gotta make these fucking burritos, dude.
Oh God, I mean, I was hung over as shit a couple weekends ago. We had a poker party, and I really feel I could have won had I not been drinking.
Yeah.
Like, here's my thing, dude. It's these sugary drinks that fuck with me. Like, because I can drink Captain and Coke all night and be fine, but I was at the store getting chips and shit like that, and I was like, oh, Red's Apple Ale. I haven't had those in a long time. Then I remembered why I hadn't had those in a long time.
Yeah, those things, they're too good for their own good, man.
They don't get you drunk. I mean, they do, but it's the sugar that makes you vomit. So I mean, I
don't ever have that problem with sugary stuff.
It's
like
always been sugar for me.
I can drink like wine and all that kind of stuff. Wine, like girly drinks like fucking mimosas and stuff, and yeah, hard cider. That it never does anything to me, but like that.
Really? No.
Yeah.
So mimosas don't really do that much to me, but it's like Mike's Hard, shit like that.
Yeah, and they're really sugary, but
Smirnoff, Not Your Dad's root beer, Reds, Angry Orchard, shit like that. Just, it has always fucked me up just from the sugar. And it's like, I remember because I had, it was one of those sitting down in the shower hangovers. You ever had those?
No, but I get you. I've known other guy. I've witnessed those hangovers before.
Yes. Well, so we went to my girl's uncle house for dinner that night, and of course, like I was hungover. I mean, it was 6:00 we left, and I still wasn't feeling good. And they made a fucking bomb steak, like cooked just how I wanted it, fucking T-bone and everything, and it was so hard to keep that steak down. I was regretting it. I'm like, fuck, dude. Normally, I'd love this. Like,
dude, I don't think. Like, I think the last time I got so drunk like that was the time me and you and our buddies went out.
Oh, with Jordan?
Yeah, and that time that I was still doing keto and like,
yeah,
oh man, I think that's the last time that I've like drank a lot before.
Well, the problem that night was we went out at like 8 and stayed out till the bars closed. Yeah. I remember where were we at 1912? The bartender cut us off.
I don't even remember that guy cutting us off.
No, man. It was a girl. See, that's how bad it was.
Didn't she cut us off from shots?
Well, what happened was we took a bunch of shots and we started quick, right? And we hadn't eaten dinner, so we were eating, and we were on an empty stomach, so that
we were eating that. We went to this restaurant in Omaha. It's got really good poutine, which is like French fries with like gravy and fucking cheese curds on it. They're good as shit, man. By the time we had ordered that, and like I don't even know how long we were waiting. By the time we were eating those poutine, dude, I was already fucking drunk.
Yep. I mean, I was on like my 5th Captain and Coke. Like it was, and I remember the bartender being like just ignoring us for a good hour, and she's like, "Okay, I was just letting you guys sober up for a little bit." No,
I was drunk. I thought it was just because it was busy there.
No, she. I very strongly remember her coming over and be like, "Okay, I was just letting you guys sit for a little bit," because she kept bringing us water.
It's because Jordan kept wanting to do shots when we get drinks.
Jordan, I don't know. His dad had a really strong tolerance to alcohol.
This guy's like medically immune to it already.
Yes, Jordan has to run up like $100 bar tab to fill the butt, and it's not because he drinks a lot. He's been like that since he started.
Yeah,
like I mean,
I've witnessed it and I didn't believe it. I mean, it's funny to see him like he has zero tolerance to like marijuana.
Yeah.
But 100% tolerant, like 99% tolerance
Jordan's
to alcohol.
Brain will melt after about 10 milligrams of edibles, of edible marijuana. Yeah. But this guy has to run up like $150 bar tab to fill what I do on 25.
Yeah, man. That would be a pretty lame existence, man. I would fucking hate to be like that.
Oh, I know. It's fun to get drunk. That's why he just switched to marijuana. He can't drink. He's like, it's a waste of money and time, and it's like it's not even fun because he's like, I gotta drink I gotta order 2 shots for every one you do, And it's like he's like, it's not even worth it. So it's like I get it. I totally get it. It's like it's got this fucking Iron Man tolerance, and it's. But no, I mean, yeah, him and I were talking, like, revisiting how we used to drink when we were younger, just how fucking stupid we were. And I feel like it's a cultural issue in America because we look at alcohol as this forbidden fruit in America. Whereas if you go to like Italy or anywhere in Europe, really,
Germany especially,
13, 14 having a beer or wine with dinner, and it's no big deal. They learn, it's just like with guns. They learn the respect for it at a young age. Whereas it's, in most households, it's viewed as totally off limits. So kids turn 16, 17, they get their first taste of it and go fucking wild. They have no idea how to handle it responsibly.
I think in Europe too, genetics really, like, it's just like here in America, like genetics really do play a big portion of alcoholism, because you go to like Eastern Europe, man. Eastern Europe, alcoholism is like fucking ravaging, like Russia.
Yeah, Russia's bad. Well, when vodka is referred to as diet water, you know. But I mean, you look at other like Mediterranean countries, so they don't have alcoholism problems there, not like we do here. And I'm not saying we should lower the drinking age. We're too far in. Like, if you made it, anyone who's 14 could buy beer. There would be, the ICUs would be full in one night. Like,
there's some states that are kind of responsible. Like, I know here in Texas, like, you're like 14, 15, your parents could order a beer for you. As
Nebraska,
long as you're there.
You can drink as long as you're at home with your parents.
But it can't be in public, because my wife
it has to be with your parents.
My wife was 20. Her parents came up, and she was going to have some wine with us, but she was my girlfriend at the time, but she couldn't drink the wine at the restaurant with us at this like nice steakhouse because she was under 21. And then we're like, oh well, in Texas, dude, you can drink in Texas if your parents allow it. And
Wisconsin, have you heard Wisconsin? I don't know if this is still true, but Wisconsin, it used to be, as long as you were at the bar with someone who was 21 accompanying you, you could drink.
Really?
You could find a homeless man off the street and be like, hey, I'll just buy you booze if you say you're with me. And he'll fuck it and you can drink. Fucking nuts, right?
Yeah, dude. It's I would want to see up in Wisconsin, like, what the alcoholism rates.
Oh, I'm sure it's terrible. I'm sure
I don't know, because people don't really talk about it that much.
Right.
People talk about alcoholism if, like, they know somebody who's like, if they've been like personally affected by an alcoholic, you know what I mean?
Most people do. Most people do, because Americans drink like idiots. That's why I don't want to be one of those people that just compares us to Europe and bashes America, but like, Americans drink like idiots. Like, there's no.
Yeah, because I think there's a good difference between, like, just like someone like me. I love the taste of beer, man. I drink beer as a choice of drink, and like, I don't like to get real. I mean, I kind of like to get drunk off it, but you know what I mean. Like, I very rarely drink to get drunk.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, you see these other guys that fucking go and buy a 20 or a whole 24 pack of fucking Coors Light and kill that in 2 days. You know what I mean? Like, that's like
2 days, amateurs.
Yeah, that's like alcoholism.
Well, it's like, I mean, we were talking about how when we were younger, it was like we'd be mixing, like, he's like, because mixing is really what fucks people up, mixing drinks. Because like I said, man, I can sit there and sip Captain and Coke all night and be fine. Like, I'll be drunk, but I won't be wasted, right? And that's usually what I do if I'm going to go out. But like, we would mix. I remember one night, fucking peach brandy, which is the worst hangover, Fireball, vodka, and Hennessy.
Oh God,
we were mixing.
Fireball is always that first drink that everybody can't drink it as an adult because they abused it when they were younger.
Right? Yeah.
I never had that experience, man. I didn't like Fireball when I was younger.
Fireball's disgusting. I don't know.
When I was a teenager, dude. When I was a teenager, we were fucking kind of like broke all the time. So we would all just share like a bottle of Everclear and mix that shit with like Powerade or something.
That's even worse.
Yeah, and Everclear is like you can run a lawnmower on that shit.
Yeah, that's disgusting. Well, no, it's but I mean, we were idiots. It's the same concept of like the people that are having these, you know, that walk into a Walmart and shoot a bunch of people. They're not the people that grew up around guns, you know, like being taught how to respect them. You know, the guy that accidentally shoots his wife when he's trying to clean it isn't the guy that grew up around guns, right? Nobody taught him proper respect for it, you know?
Or
Cheney.
it rarely is.
Rare.
It could be a guy
then.
that like did, and then he's just like overconfident. But it's like,
yeah,
no, you can't blame the ignorance on
No.
that. It's just some guy being a jackass. But I mean, there's jackasses everywhere.
everywhere,
so,
right? But no, but what
yeah.
I'm getting at is we look at alcohol like it's this forbidden fruit, and there just needs to be a societal change. I'm not saying host part ragers for your kids, but like when
There is
they're
a lot of
15,
people.
16, let them have a beer or a glass of wine with dinner, maybe. Don't let them get drunk, but
There is a lot of people that will say and that partying becomes less fun when you get 21.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely true.
There's a lot of people. I've heard a lot of people say that.
Well, it's because they fucking jumped the shark.
Yeah.
When they're young,
It's
So,
not.
that's
why. It's not risque anymore.
Exactly. It's not taboo. That's why fucking kids. We got to close this show because I got to go eat. But if you take anything away from this, kids, it's don't drink underage. Do heroin.
Enjoy things in moderation and take care of yourself.
Do heroin.
Don't do heroin.
Don't do heroin.
Heroin's one of those drugs where it's going to mess you up. So
yeah, heroin's the gold standard, just like McDonald's. Don't eat McDonald's.
Yeah, dude.
McDonald's is the heroin of fast food. All right.
All right. Yeah. Well, thanks for tuning in, guys. Caleb, you got any shows coming up or anything?
We're working on a couple. I've got one in August in Council Bluffs on a Wednesday, August 12th at Third Base Bar and Grill. It's called the Shots and Giggles Show. I'll be doing that with Carmela Anderson and Derek Pavelka. I got a roast battle against Ty Ingram on September 25th. I will not put his mugshot on a shirt, I promise.
If he had one, I would.
Remember the two? No, that's getting expensive, man. I can't afford to keep buying all these shirts.
That's funny.
But remember the two we talked about, Ashley McCormick and Ben Miles?
Mm-hmm.
Ashley, the cross-burning racist, and Ben Miles, the helicopter ride-needing commie.
They're both the antithesis of each other.
They're doing a roast battle the same night.
Oh, that's fucking great, man.
I cannot wait. They need to make that the main event. Absolutely. Lavetti Vegas wouldn't take it. I told him he needed to.
Yeah, you should, man. Get some closure with him.
All right, man. I'll let you go.
Peace out, brother.
Peace out, y'all.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Doses.
Yeah, thank you, guys.